I'm hearing you don't need to receive, you just need to wait. And I just split the deck on the Tower. Oop, just fell. So you may be having a Tower moment. There's something that's falling away for your higher good. It's for your benefit. So if you're having an emotional breakdown, which sounds a little bit rude, but you feel like you're falling apart a little bit, might be rocking back and forth in a corner, holding yourself, crying. I'm very sorry if you're experiencing that. But just know that that is temporary. And the card right next to it was the Empress. I'm not sure you can see. I'm sitting in my bathroom because I'm keeping my little kitten company while she's staying in here temporarily. I'm feeling quite serious and tense right now. And I was quite relaxed before I started this, so maybe you are feeling quite tense, like in your abdomen, maybe in your chest, racing heart, definitely an intense feeling. I'm hearing up-leveling. It's not quite fear, it's not quite excitement, because it's not as if the feelings are being created through your thoughts. It's like you're stepping through, I'm gonna say portal, into something new, and I'm seeing someone moving through something and then like a bubble popping behind them. Like you're stepping into this new reality. And you can feel it physically. Maybe logically it doesn't quite make sense yet. I'm seeing cobblestone paths, footsteps walking on cobblestone. I was thinking of Italy, some place in Europe where streets are like that, like a place that's older, more ancient. You're walking the ancient path. And I was seeing the feet walking on the steps. So you don't know where you're going, but it feels ancient, it feels purposeful. I also was seeing and hearing heels clacking on this uneven cobblestone path. But the heels were moving with purpose and intensity. They weren't wobbling like, oh, I know I would be twisting my ankle if I were wearing heels. So there's a confidence, even though you're not quite able to see what's up ahead. So maybe that's the tension. Maybe you were having this tower moment it's possible that you just came through it and now you're feeling like the Empress. I was just drawn to look at this card, and she's holding an orb. I would say it has to do with her force, her energy source. Like, she is receptive and she is the holder of this energy source, so she gets to decide how she wields her energy. It's her choice. And maybe that's this tension too in your chest and your abdomen, where you're engaging with your power, sense of courage and purpose, and it's making you feel whole, physically stronger. And you took back your power. So whatever you did in this big tower moment, for instance, you left a career that was no longer aligned with you, where you felt like you were giving yourself away. And now you've got this energy source that you can wield to your benefit, and you're able to receive energy from source is the word that came through. I'll be honest, I don't always name what I would call, but this is a name actually, energy or understandings, wisdom, visions, things that I get from a place beyond me that I feel like aren't figments of my current reality, if that makes sense. But of course, by naming it a higher power, I'm also kind of naming it. But whatever it may be, this sense of energy from beyond you, you're able to receive that and feel rejuvenated, whole and powerful and resolute. I feel like that's a good word, resolute. You want to see, Fifi? See? Want to sniff it? No. She's just sitting on top of her carrier watching me. She's a sleepy girl. Maybe you need some sleep. Yeah, you've been pushing yourself forward for so long, and now you're ready for a break. But it does feel like simultaneously you do feel in control of of your energy reserves and how you preserve your energy. Ducklings. I just thought of baby ducklings, like little yellow white ducklings with fur. Spring. A key as well. I'm seeing a key. A phoenix. Shooting star. Maybe a flame. Okay, let's continue with the reading. So underneath we have the Eight of Swords. So and the Eight of Swords came out upside down. So maybe you went from a place of feeling really paranoid. I'm hearing bees buzzing around me and like kind of seeing someone swatting away at thoughts that are swarming around their head. And so maybe now, whatever situation you escaped from, you leaving that situation allowed you to become clear-headed. So I'm guessing this caused you a lot of anxiety, a lot of negative spiraling thought patterns, or maybe it was just that there was so much overwhelming you at all times you couldn't think straight. But now you're able to get out of it, let go of these thoughts and these thought patterns and start clean. I'm hearing clean slate, squeaky clean, shiny, like I'm hearing ding. Maybe taking nice showers, doing like a full body shower, taking time with cleaning yourself, washing your hair, admiring yourself in the mirror, feeling proud when you look at yourself in the mirror. Okay, and then the next card, we have the Queen of Swords upright. Wow. So I'm hearing thoughtful. Thoughtful with how you communicate to the world. Boundaried. The way you're holding this sword, or the Queen of Swords is holding this sword upright with confidence. And she has her other hand outstretched. So there's this sense of openness, welcome, beckoning. But yet you still have, she still has the sword upright, meaning you are welcome to come within my circle, but be warned, beware, I am boundaried. She will not be taken advantage of. Her sword is her word. Her word is her boundary. Her boundary is her safety. Her safety is her reward. Safety is her reward. Wait, let me sit on that. After everything you've been through, you have earned this safety through trials and tribulation, through fires, through storms. You have earned the right to sit at your table and reap the rewards. Yeah, now I'm picturing, let's see, I was thinking of Game of Thrones, but you could imagine like any sort of medieval kingdom setting where there's a feast in a long hall, and at the very end of the hall is a horizontal table where the royalty or quote-unquote VIP people would sit and observe the rest of the people sitting at all of the other long tables, partying, celebrating, feasting. And you are now sitting at the head of that table. So the people seated would represent youth and glory. It's almost like with the Queen of Swords, you being the Queen of Swords, and you taking a look at the people eating and celebrating and feasting in your honor, or at the very least, through your generosity or guidance. It's almost like you will be using your newfound strength, your word, to create order from chaos, peace from harm, celebration from duress. Wow, my foot is falling asleep. I cannot feel my foot right now. Oh my God. I might have to get up soon, finish this reading. So it sounds like not only are you embracing your boundaries and enforcing them, doing so has given you a new perspective. Maybe on your youth, the way you lived before, or maybe like you have a softer view of how you were at a younger age when you didn't have these boundaries, and now you feel the need to protect those who were like you at that age. And so with you looking out over all of these people celebrating your honor, you are feeling a sense of protectiveness and joy at seeing them. Maybe like they are your collective. Whatever that may mean to you. Maybe you're a school teacher. Maybe you're a lawyer. Maybe you are a caretaker of animals. You work in an animal shelter. I'm seeing, someone kind of walking through an animal shelter and looking at all the cages and kind of opening them up and checking on the animals. Big dogs like pit bulls, mastiff. I don't know why those ones popped into my head, but little white terriers. So you are in a place where even if you feel tense in your chest, it's this newfound strength that you're holding within you. And it feels like a lot because it's fresh, and it's almost like you don't want to let this feeling go, and you feel as if you need to carry this intensity with you, but that feeling might dissolve. Not to say that the strength will go away, but you'll be able to carry it with ease instead of having to like focus on holding it wherever you go. And you're going to be a caretaker of, I'm hearing caretaker of enemies. I don't know what that means. I saw the Knight of Cups when I was playing around and splitting the deck again. But I don't know if this is part of this reading. Maybe you have someone coming forward now to give you an emotional offering, so to speak. And the way that the knight's horse has its head bowed in a sign of respect, it's like this person is going to be respectful of your boundaries. Eager to please is what I'm hearing. And it looked like there were roses on the knight's armor. Maybe it could also be fish. I see it almost looks like orange fish swimming in water on this armor. Maybe they're a Pisces. Maybe they're spiritual. This could even be a spiritual offering from God or whatever higher power you believe in or talk to or speak with, connect with. And then the Hanged Man. Wait, I really need to pause this to move my foot. Please forgive me. Gosh, it's so funny. I think what I just did is an example of what you've been doing and what you now stand for. I would say your health, your physical health and well-being is now a priority above all else or others, or at the very least, you've taken back control over your health in one way or another. So I just paused the video, even though I was concerned that somehow you guys watching would be upset that I paused it. But my foot, actually both, but one was in so much pain from falling asleep. And so, yeah, I wasn't going to keep enduring that pain. Sorry. But that's probably the energy that you're evoking now. Like, why would I keep subjecting myself to this amount of pain for your benefit, for your reward? Okay, let's continue. So under the Knight of Cups came out the Hanged Man in reverse. I really liked the Hanged Man. He reminds me a lot of Peter Pan. But to me, this is like spiritual awakening. I'm hearing not yet, so I think you might have to hang out in the darkness, maybe in meditation for a little bit, to hear what this is, what this hangman is telling you. It's almost like when I'm looking at the hangman upside down, I don't know if you can see. Yeah. Oh, every time I put my finger in front of the camera, it's so affronting. But it's almost like he's springing off from the ground and getting ready to levitate. What's that Dua Lipa song, Levitating? Maybe go listen to that after this. Maybe Dua Lipa in general is a good artist for you right now because she's very she sings a lot about like self-empowerment and femininity, so she might be someone to listen to. She's also typically quite uplifting, and maybe you need that kind of inspiration to get your body moving and dancing, to shake off some of this past tower moment energy. And so you can kind of rise to the occasion. Reconnect with your spiritual self. Be the spiritual being that you've always been. Losing a self-identity that you once held that no longer fits. Kind of like what we talked about with the tower moment. Hi, Fifi. Oh, she's purring. Maybe I'll show you her in another video, but she's sleeping and, well, she's chilling very happily on her spot, on her perch. But, yeah, I really feel like dancing and then meditating, getting into the unknown again for a second. Like you probably hadn't been meditating for a long time because of this situation you were in that took up so much of your mental energy. And now you can almost kind of like cleanse and get back into the darkness. Not in a scary way, but the darkness almost of a womb-like feeling. of quiet, and I'm hearing soundlessness. The sound, or I guess it is sound, that you hear when you put your head underwater and you float and your ears are blocked. It's that kind of feeling. And then see what results, what kind of visions or messages you hear. Even like the clouds I'm seeing. You could just stare up at the clouds and let them send you messages. Like, let nature be your guide, your higher power. That's something that a friend told me once, was that nature was really their higher power rather than a specific deity or idea of God. And I go back and forth all the time with my beliefs, but I always feel a deep connection to nature and a deep sense of peace when I allow myself to be within it. And so that could be something that you start to do, is reconnect with nature again, because it kind of seems like this is something you used to do, maybe as a child. And then the last card for this reading is the Ace of Wands, which is upside down. And so to me, this is connected to the Hangman energy of reconnecting with the darkness, the unknown, the womb-like space of creation, is what I heard. In order to flesh out an idea into being, into creation, into the material. So there's something big and specific, but I'm also looking at these leaves that are attached to this wand, which is very much like a tree branch. Again, with the connection to nature and the earth, the natural elements, giving you this sense of resolve and power to take control of your reality again. But with the the Ace of Wands being upside down, there's this sensation of a burgeoning art. I'm seeing like painting a portrait, staring out a window in a library or an art studio, and just painting, painstaking. Maybe you're thinking or feeling that this thing you would like to create is going to be too painstakingly difficult to pursue. And so you're kind of procrastinating getting started with it, especially in light of, understandably, the fact that you've been exhausted by the situation you just left. But if we go back to the Hanged Man, reconnecting with yourself, taking a moment to be in the silence and meditative state, whatever that might mean to you. Like, you could just take a walk at night. Always be safe if you're doing that. Like, maybe tell people where you are, where you're going. Make sure you're safe, but like a walk in the dark at night into the unknown, into the mystery. I'm hearing the crickets and locusts, those titular sounds of summer. Into the mystery. I'm hearing that song, Into the Mystery. Is that by Need to Breathe? Or is that another song that they wrote? Into the Mystery, Need to Breathe. Oh, I really wish I could remember the artist. But yeah, I think it's Need to Breathe, like all caps or something like that. But so go back into the mystery and see what you come back with after you go on this walk, this retreat, this meditation, right? and see what kind of magic you can create. Like this Ace of Wands also makes me think of someone holding a pen in addition to like an artist's brush. Writing your reality. Yeah, I think also take time to really step back and think about what you want for this new reality. Having undergone this transformation, learned about yourself, standing in your power, letting go of negative thoughts, feeling strong in your ability to set boundaries, letting yourself be open to relationships of healing and emotional abundance and respect. You're now in a place where you are able to retreat into the mystery for a little bit and recover who you are and who you were, which are the same thing. Take with that what you will, and then see what it is that you write and what you create, because it could be that you've been trying to create and write and paint, but it's been feeling difficult and painstakingly challenging, because it's been coming from a place of force or the old identity. You just need a moment to pause and take a break, and then you'll be ready to create fully with joy, with joie de vivre. Are you French? Yeah, that just made me think of, I'm seeing like frilly dresses. There was this like Dove chocolate commercial where a woman was, how do I explain it? So she's a young girl on a skateboard in a flowy dress, and she's kind of juxtaposing masculine and femininity, like she's strong and free and feminine and bold and beautiful. And then it cuts to a version of her when she's much older, and she's still doing the same thing. She's still skateboarding. She's still wearing a dress. She still has her red lipstick. She's still eating Dove chocolate, of course. And she's still wild and young and adventurous and free. So just know that the version of you that was young and wild and free and beautiful and feminine and strong and masculine, that's still you, no matter what age you are. That's still in the realm of possibility. Okay, my feet are falling asleep again, so I am gonna end it there. 3, 3, 3. Woo!